Hello and welcome. I am Lanre Lasese. Now, it's the start of the last month of the year and lawmakers are working to get as much done before the Christmas holidays. From President Muhammadu Buhari's vehement request to the Parliament to the medium-term expenditure framework document that is yet to be considered. The lawmakers are also expecting the 2017 budget proposal. Now, the lawmakers also had other issues to consider this week. Let's start with this one that had everything to do with party politics.
Mr. President.
Legislative proceedings on Wednesday started with the Senate President reading an all-too-familiar letter on the floor.
Before the National Assembly.
The letter, written by Senator Yele Omogunwa, is informing the Senate of his decision to cross carpet from the PDP to the ruling APC.
As the last man standing in PDP as a senator, it will no doubt be a bit of a setback for PDP in Ondo State. Notwithstanding, we're all brothers and sisters in progress. Signed, yours faithfully, Senator Yele Omogunwa.
Immediately after the Senate President read the letter, the Senate Minority Leader raises a point of order, reflecting his thoughts on the announcement.
We must not encourage political rascality. That's the aspect I'm taking. Mr. President, what has just happened in the last 1 or 2 weeks is that there was a slight tussle for supremacy of the position of chairmanship in the PDP. And then all of a sudden, believing in legal process, which we ought to, Mr. President, the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court settled the issue that PDP is now won under distinguished Senator McAfee, and that the man that has just jumped ship now his seat ought to be declared vacant.
When it dawned on opposition leaders that the Senate President was not going to be swayed, the PDP lawmakers staged a walkout. They left the Senate chamber straight to a meeting room where they vented their frustrations to journalists.
The reason for him jumping ship from PDP to APC this morning is in order to go and support the new governorship or the new governor-elect, Akeredolu. That is the reason. It is not on the basis that there is a division in the PDP. He ought to resign and go there and become a commissioner or become a special assistant or an advisor.
This is the second time a federal lawmaker is defecting from the opposition PDP to the ruling APC in the 8th Assembly. Senator Joshua Darie, on September 22nd this year, left the PDP for the APC on the grounds that the PDP was experiencing an internal crisis.
Now, during the week, Nigerians were up in arms over news of an impending increase in the cost of data in the country. Their cries got the attention of the lawmakers in the Senate. Here's a report of that development and the role of the Senate.
The text message from the telecom operators was a huge upset for many Nigerians. Coupled with the recession and dwindling finances in the land, many had started calculating additional costs.
People don't make calls like that. They prefer doing business on as in chatting. But by the act of hiking of the tariff and this, I think it's really going to really hit hard on the economy the more.
People will not go through the normal processes to make increment. It will not be deliberated at the National House of Assembly. Somebody will come up one day and begin to throw huge tariff on people. It is unacceptable. We won't take that.
In its reaction, the Senate speedily ordered a halt to the increment.
That this Senate should equally note and show concern that the decision coming at a time when the Nigerian economy is going through significant challenges is most insensitive. And the Senate do observe that the international best standard usually demand that such economy-wide decisions are taken after very robust consultation with the stakeholders.
To immediately ask NCC to hold this new tariff approval. Those in favor of prayer 1 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 2, that the Senate Committee on Communication moves to carry out a thorough oversight over the process to ensure that the Nigerian people are carried along in this decision process. Those in favor of prayer 2 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
The Minister of Communication, however, quickly denies being privy to the NCC's plan to hike data tariff.
I was not part of the decision. I had it like all Nigerians had it. I'm still going to investigate from NCC to know the rationale. But from what I have heard, it is a function of the Nigerian currency, which today is at its lowest ebb.
The NCC, in a statement, says the decision to hike the price was primarily to check anti-competitive practices in the industry, but a professor of computer science insists that decision was bad news.
If the cost rises now, then it means we are going to do what disenfranchise part of the, and most especially probably the students, whom we want to have data on their fingertips, because it's bad news for Nigeria, because everywhere else the price is dropping.
Widespread concerns clearly forced the NCC to rescind its earlier directive to telecom operators, but there are more calls for it to completely abandon the idea.